So in this video, we're going to showcase a couple of things. We're going to go over how to edit your content, how to swap out images on your site, how to add, edit, and delete images in the photo gallery, as well as making backups. So the first thing we want to do is go to the HydeParkHairSalon.net website. Once you're there, you'll see exactly your website. The next thing we'll need to do is to log into the back end of the website in order to make the changes. And your website's created using WordPress, and typically the default backend URL to get to the login is your website, so HydeParkHairSalon.net, and also type in /WP-admin. And if you go to the right URL, you would see a screen similar to this. So again, it's HydeParkHairSalon.net / the one next to the shift key WP-admin. Once you're there, you'll put in your username, password, and the captcha code, which is basically these letters over here. So I'm going to pause this video right now and log in. Once you log in, you should see a screen similar to this. This is called the dashboard, and this may have looked a little bit different from what you've seen in the past. I did upgrade the WordPress install on the site to the most recent version, which I believe is 3.9.1. The previous version that you had was version 3, and that was a couple years ago. So now you have the most recent version of WordPress. It has a lot more functionality, better security, and just a better, easier interface to work with in general. So the first thing I want to go over is how to make a backup, because it's important to have a backup of your website. So everything that you can do with the backend is in this menu system on the left hand side. You'll want to select Backup Buddy, and then click on Complete Backup. When you click on Complete Backup, basically what will happen is that it'll go through your site and basically back up every single thing on your website. And when it's done, it'll create a link down here. Once it's done, what you want to do is click on the link, and it will basically tell your browser to download that file. And essentially what it's doing is it's going to create a backup file that allows you to back it up, download the file onto your local computer. So that way, if something ever happens to your hosting, or your site ever gets hacked, you'll have a recent copy of your website on your local computer, on your desktop. So I recommend doing a backup maybe once every week if you change your site often. If you really ever change your site, just do it right after a most recent change. So that way you have the most recent change in your backup, and then back it up and then download it onto your local computer. So that way, you know, as long as you have a copy on your computer, you should be good. So that's basically the gist of backups. Pretty easy to do with Backup Buddy and WordPress. So the next thing I want to do is showcase how to edit your content. So I typically like to have two tabs open in my browser, one showing the website and the other one showing the back end. So let's take an example page. Let's just do the About page. So let's say you wanted to edit this content over here. Let's say there's more, let's say you want to remove the last paragraph, for example. All pages are under the section called Pages. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then you would want to go to the page that you want to edit. So in this case, you want to go to the About page. So we'll hover over the About and click on Edit. And here would essentially be your page. So if you wanted to delete the bottom part of the page, you could just highlight and, oops, you can highlight, and you have to be a little careful, and then you could just delete. If you wanted to add more text, you could just type the new text in. It's kind of like Word. You'll have your bold, italicized. You can add bullet points. So I can add, a laundry list of things. Um, you can left align, center, right align. So if I highlight this and I click on the right align, it'll right align the text. If you want more options, you can click on toolbar toggle, and it'll give you a little bit more options, um, like changing text color. Typically, that's probably the only one you would use. Indentation. Justifies kind of like a newspaper format, which will look like this. If I highlight this and I click on justify, it'll try to make both sides of the text line up. And basically, in any case, it's similar to like Word, and basically what you type in here is basically what you get on the front end. It won't show up on the front end unless you update. You click on this blue button, or you can preview the changes. So if you don't want the changes live, you could just preview the changes, and you can see how your changes affect the layout before you commit to an update. So that's essentially how you update content, especially like text type of things. Hyperlinks, probably one last thing I wanted to go over. So hyperlinks is pretty easy. You would highlight the word or the paragraph or the line of text that you want to make into a hyperlink. So in this case, let's say I want to do HydePark Theater, and let's say I wanted a link to the HydePark Theater website. So I'll highlight the HydePark Theater words, and I'll click on this little link here. It looks like a chain. So essentially, it's symbolizing a link. There'll be a little pop-up, and I don't know the HydePark Theater URL offhand. So let's just type in Google, just for the sake of example. And then you would if you want this link when clicked on to open up a new tab, just check the checkbox that says open link in a new tab. Else, it will just, when you click on it, will just go to the new page. And when you're done, click on add link, and you can see that the text is no longer a regular black letter text. It's a purple and it's underlined. That kind of signifies that it's a hyperlink. So that's essentially how you would edit your content. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. So let's say we wanted to do the events page. Again, we would go to pages, and I'm not going to save anything because I don't want these changes to go live, because they were just examples. So I'm going to click on leave page, and I will go to under the events. And again, you would just change the events here. It's pretty straightforward. If there is one thing I did forget to mention, there is a difference between enter and shift enter. So if I'm typing along and I press shift enter, the cursor will go to the next line and I can continue typing. But if I press enter, that's more of a paragraph break. So that'll be putting the cursor to the next line and then also pressing enter again. So there's a little bit more spacing if I press enter instead of shift enter. You'll also notice that the font style has changed. This is really small and this is a little bit bigger. This sometimes happens with custom fonts. So what I recommend is that if that happens, what you want to do is you want to go to a place where the font is still the original font. Go ahead and type in what you want to type in, and then press enter or shift enter and bring it to the next line, instead of going to the next line and typing, in which case you can see the text is now different. Just type in the text first and then go back and press enter. Just a little FYI type of thing. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is showcase how to change all these different types of images. So let me just reset the page. I'm not going to save anything. Again, if you want these changes to go live, you click on the blue button to update. So I'm going to leave this page. So to update generally all the pictures on your site, let's say this part or this part here, what you would do is go to media, and you see that the media contains all the different pictures on your site, including the image headers, including the headers, because those were done with a special font, and they had to be rendered as images. So let's just, for an example, staff. So let's take a look which page that's on. I think it's under staff. Alright, so let's say I wanted to edit this image here. It looks like there's 5 images, but really in reality it's one big image. So let's say we want to edit this and we want to change this out. So we'll go to media, like I mentioned before. Go to media and then essentially try to find that image. So it looks like that one. Hover over the image, select edit. You'll be taken to this page. The big takeaway from this page is that when you edit an image, essentially what you're trying to do is just swapping out the old image with the new image. So it's important that the new image that you're trying to swap the old image from is that it's the same size. So in this case it's 985 by 234, so that's 985 pixels wide and 234 pixels high. So the new image should have the same dimension as well as the same file type. So the image file type for this is a JPG, a JPEG. The file name doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the file type and dimensions. Once you have an image that would substitute for this particular image, you'll go here and click on upload a new file and choose file, and then basically go into your computer and select the file that you want to replace the old file, the old image with. And that's essentially how you would change images on your site. And that applies to all the images, even these icons over here. And yeah, typically it would just be your main image and then your side image. Now, there is a section on your site under gallery where this does not apply. This the way to change images does not apply that I just showed you. The image gallery is a little bit different in that this uses a special plugin that allows the functionality of being able to show images in a slideshow. I think you have to click on as a slideshow like this, as well as a modal where you can then select through the different types of images. So this is a little bit different. The image gallery can be edited through the section called gallery. So I'm going to click on gallery. Each image gallery is separated into albums. So right now we essentially have one album, the 2008 Barack Obama Election Party album. In the album there are, let's see, 18 different images. Let's just say I wanted to add an image to this album. So I apologize for that. So in order to add an image to an existing gallery, you'll go to add gallery / images. Once you're taken to this page, you'll select the gallery that you want to edit. So in this case there's only one, the 2008 Obama Election Party. And then click on add image. So let's say I wanted to add this image. Once I select the image, I'll click on start upload. Once it's finished uploading, I can check to make sure that it uploaded correctly. I would go to manage galleries, select the gallery that I uploaded to, in this case 2008 Obama Election Party, and typically it will be the last image in the album. So in this case this is the one I just uploaded. I can also give it a different name. So let's say I type in flower. If I hover over the image, it'll say flower. So that's how you add an image to an existing gallery. You can also even change the order. So let's say I want this to be the first image instead of the last image. Well, since I'm already editing the gallery that the image is in, I'll click on Sort Gallery. And essentially it's just a click and drag. So I can click and drag this as the first one. And if I'm happy with the change of order, I'll click on Update Sort Order. I'll go into my other tab to see if the changes did take effect, and it did. So now it's the first image. And that's how you would change the order of the image. So let's go ahead and delete that image because we don't need that. So we'll go to Manage Galleries and click on the gallery that you wanted to manage, and then select the checkbox next to the image you want to delete, and select Delete. Click OK. Save our changes by clicking the blue button. And if I refresh the page, it's no longer there. So that's how you would add, edit, and resort images in an existing gallery. If you wanted to add a new gallery, so let's say we had another event, that's pretty easy to do as well. So let's try to do that right now. We would do Add Gallery. This is going to be a completely new gallery. Let's just do the 2014 Barack Obama party. And we'll go ahead and click on Add Files because we want to add files to this new gallery. You don't have to do one at a time. What you can do is select multiple pictures. So I would select the first one, and then I would hold down Shift on my keyboard to select all the different pictures that I want to upload. So let's say I want to upload 4 of them at once. Let's say we want this one, this one, this one, oops, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Click on Open. And once I'm happy with the results that I wanted, I'll click on Start Upload. And depending on how many files and how big the files, it could take a while. Looks like ours is going pretty fast. 4 files at about 3 megabytes altogether. Alright, so it says 4 images were uploaded successfully. The next thing you would want to do is you want to go to Manage Galleries, because the order that you upload the galleries might not necessarily be the order that you want to show the images. So you would want to go to Manage Gallery, click on the gallery that you want to edit. It looks like there's some more stuff we should edit because this is kind of wrong. Let's change that. I don't know how that got there, but let's delete all that. We just want 2014 Barack Obama Party as the title of the gallery. We also want to sort, and let's have the flowers be shown first and then the rest of the pictures. Update the sort gallery. I'm going to go back to Manage Gallery because I'm not sure if it updated the title, and it looks like it did not. So I'm going to delete that extra stuff and click on Save Changes. So now we have our 2014 Barack Obama party. We also have the 4 pictures uploaded to it, as well as sorting it in the order that we want it to. Now the next thing we want to do, because just because you create a new gallery and you upload the images to the gallery does not necessarily mean it's going to show up on the page. You would have to add that to the page. So the page that the galleries are on is called Gallery. So what we want to do is go to Pages, select Gallery, and Edit. And what I typically like to do is I like to imitate what was done before. So if you wanted to create something with a similar layout of this, I would just copy what was there before. So in this case, I would copy the 2008 version and basically do that. If I want the 2010 before it, I would just make sure my cursor is before that, before the 2008, and paste it. So let's say that's the case. So I'm gonna put it before. So I'm gonna delete that. And here's where I would change the name. So this is the 2014 Barack Obama party. It's just a regular party because I don't think he'd get elected again. He's already done two terms. And here is where it gets just a little bit tricky. What you want to do is delete the existing shortcode. This is called shortcode. And what a shortcode does is basically it's a piece of, it's an alias that looks like coding, and it looks like coding on our end, but it tells WordPress that, hey, substitute this alias with the actual gallery. Apologize for this. What we want to do is go to the gallery. We'll click on Manage Gallery. And we should just take the ID number. So the ID number to the new one we just made is 7. The 2008 is 6. And if we go to the events page, we'll just change the ID to 7 for the 2014. As you can see, the previous one in 2008 is ID 6. And that corresponds to the ID numbers here. So when you create a gallery, just take a note of what the ID number is, so that when you have to put the gallery onto the page, you'll just put in that time. In this case, for the sake of example, I will update it so we can take a look at what it looks like on the page. So if I refresh, well, there you go, 2014 and 2008. Looks like there's some spacing that we should add, and that's done very easily as well. Just press enter or shift enter if you wanted to do one line at a time. I'm going to do enter. That looks pretty good, so I'll update. And that should create some extra spacing. Let's see. Looks like it didn't, so. And then I'll click on update. Refresh, and then yes, there you go. The spacing did happen. So that's essentially how you would add images to the gallery, as well as adding the gallery to the gallery page. So, and that concludes our training session for today. Thanks. Bye.